What is going on, everybody? It is currently 16 degrees outside, so we will not be fishing today. Instead, what we're going to talk about are my rod and reel combos and pretty much my arsenal, if you want to call it that. It's still building. I don't have everything yet, but we're going to work on that. So stay tuned, guys. Alright guys, so before we get into bass gear and whatnot, I'm going to start off with my only non-bass combo right now, and I'm going to skip right over to catfishing, and then we'll go right over to bass. So to start out, this is what I've been using for catfish, at least just this year. The last 2 years, I believe. Luckily my grandfather let me borrow some of his old rods and reels. However, after accidentally breaking a rod tip, I didn't break the whole rod. Yeah, I'm not going to do that anymore. So I decided to go out and get myself something cheap this year. I was kind of in a hurry. This is a Shakespeare. Let me turn it around so you guys can actually see it without taking out my TV. I'm going to take out my TV. So yeah, it's a Shakespeare Tiger. This is considered a medium heavy. No, sorry. It's considered a medium, which would explain why it's so medium. So this is 7 foot. It's got a Shakespeare reel on it. Not sure the style of it. It's still considered a Tiger. This rod and reel combo cost me like 20 bucks. Anyways, this is, like I said, a Shakespeare Tiger. Caught quite a few cats on it this year. I'll put some pictures in of the blue cat, the channel cats I caught, all on this combo here. So it goes to tell you, like you'll see in my previous video, you don't need all this expensive gear. I mean, maybe it's better ergonomically and whatnot, but if you're just getting into it, don't worry about spending hundreds of dollars on rods and reels, okay? You know, your first car probably wasn't a $52,000 car. You probably didn't go around driving a Lamborghini for your first car. I mean, if you did, hook me up with your parents. Maybe they can adopt me and at least fix my truck. Yeah, so this is all you pretty much need. I'm gonna get off this topic because I've been on it too long anyways, and let's get into bass fishing. That's gonna fall down. I know it already, but we'll be surprised by it when it happens. So let's start off with my spinning gear. So as you saw in my first video, this is my go-to for spinning. It's a Sixgill carve reel. Actually, the box right here. This is a 2000. Try not to get a glare on here right in front of my window. Gear ratio, I'm going to correct it from the last video, is 4:7 to 1, which is pretty decent for light spinning gear. I haven't had any issues with that. I just started fishing with the reel itself. This is normally paired up with a this rod is a Shimano. It's normally paired up with another Shimano reel I have that came with it. You'll see that in the next combo. But since I like this rod so much, and I don't have I haven't bought my Sixgill spinning rod yet, I'm going to stay with pairing my carve with this, because as you'll see on my next rod, yeah, I'm just going to start setting these down because I'm going to break my TV or break a rod or something. You know how that goes. So yeah, as you'll see in my next, oh, hold on, it's stuck in the couch. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. So now that it's free from the couch, This is my Ugly Stick GX2 rod paired up with a Shimano AX 2500 FB reel. As far as spinning goes, this spinning rod was my first, or spinning reel, sorry, was my first spinning reel. I had this paired up with the Shimano that you saw with the last rod. However, I wanted to give the carve a shot. I do absolutely love this reel though, and I feel like I'll love the carve as well. But it's time to retire this reel. It actually has a crack in the plastic frame of it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. And again, I'm going to take out my TV. I need to find a better spot to do these videos. But yeah, kind of cracked that in a video that I never actually released. I was back fishing the lake and I was trying to do some, I had a weighted Texas rig with a ribbon tail worm, and I was throwing it through mats with a medium 2500 series spinning gear. So don't do it. It didn't end up working out. I lost a lure. I also had a hook go in my arm. Nearly dodged my raft, which would have been a very, very terrible swim back. Yeah, so just don't do it. I also bent the hook on this whopper plopper, so gonna have to fix that now. But yeah, this is my second spinning rod for bass fishing. I'm not big into the Ugly Sticks. I know a lot of people locally are huge into them. They swear by them. I've seen some videos on YouTube where a guy tried to break his and it ended up taking like a go-kart or something, ended up being what finally broke it. I'm not crazy about them. They feel too front heavy for me. It may just be me, probably is just me, but I'm not really big into it. So yeah, so that's it for spinning rods for bass fishing. Next one, this was my first bait casting setup, and I do want to correct just one thing before we go forward. The crank on this, the handle, is not the original handle for this. I took it off of another reel. It'll be the next one I talk about. I just wanted to see if it would fit so I can order an oversized handle for it, because I don't really like the smaller size handles. It feels like there's just too much into cranking it. But so yeah, I'll show you the reel. Like I said, this is off of, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the brand, but this is the reel here. I know it's considered a torrent. That's probably backwards for you guys, but I'm not going to correct myself. That one's better. No, it's not. But yeah, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that name for you, but this is the reel that this handle came off of, and it will be the next reel we talk about. But this was my introduction into a bait casting setup. This is a Shakespeare Agility. Is my only two-piece bait casting rod. I bring this with me to college because last semester anyways, I had to keep all of my stuff in my truck, but this semester I probably won't have that same issue. But anyways, I like being able to break this down and carry it with me. Comes with a Shakespeare Agility reel. Like I said, ignore the handle, but I don't really use this reel too much. When I was in college, I brought one of my Crius reels with it, but yeah. So paired up with this, I know I didn't talk about line with those, but for my spinning rods, normally I use a 10 to 15 pound braid. This has, I want to say that this was 15 pound, either 12 or 15 pound fluorocarbon, and I have a backing on it with 15 pound monofilament. What I like about this rod, or this reel, sorry, is that this reel can carry more line. I mean, it might not look like it, but this is actually a very deep spool, very wide too, compared to some of the other ones I've seen. But yeah, so pretty much I don't have a main use for this when I'm home. just kind of like a spare setup. Sometimes I'll throw spinner baits on it. As I keep going forward and get new stuff, I'm not sure what I'm going to use this for. I might actually gift it to a friend. Don't tell him. He's going to watch this video and know it's him, but it's not you, no matter what you think. So yeah, so that's it for that. Next one is the reel that we're talking about. This Piscifun. I'm butchering it. Don't hate me. But yeah, that's the reel that comes with. It's a 7:1 gear ratio. I do have a video planned for springtime with it, but you'll have to wait and see. Like I said, I replaced the handle with the one off the Shakespeare. It's going back, but I am going to have to order a oversized handle for the other reel. This is paired up with my jig and worm rod, what was my main go-to. I'm still on the fence whether I'm going to use my Aquilos for what I'm going to use it for. So this might end up getting swapped out and turned into a spinnerbait rod, which is why I've got a spinnerbait on it. But this is a Tournament ZX from Cabela's. These were my first start into getting into, like, I want to say better quality rods and reels. I bought 2 of these rods. The other one's my crankbait rod, but this is a 7'2", medium heavy. I use this for my jigs all year, last year, and some chatterbaits, some stuff like that. I pretty much swapped stuff here and there with it, but I caught a lot of fish on this rod. And this reel was my first start into, I don't know really what to call it, but first start into getting better reels, I guess, because the first one was a Shakespeare. So nothing against Shakespeare, but I mean, come on. Yeah, so I went with this. I saw it advertised for $50 on Amazon. I like this reel, but I do like my Crius a lot better. So, but this has pretty much been a mix and match, whatever I'm going to throw on it. But I might kind of keep it paired up with this for a while. Now that I'm getting into a lot more Sixgill stuff, I don't really need this paired up with any of my other stuff. So this might end up being my, thinking maybe chatterbait. Not entirely sure yet. But moving forward, the next one here, this is my other Cabela's ZX Tournament rod paired up with a Crius. This is my cranking rod. This is a medium, 7'1". This is very much what I've been throwing all of my crankbaits on, minus the deep divers. Sometimes I'll throw them on that other rod that we just talked about. But I filmed this video before, so I'm trying not to say the same exact things I said before. However, I lost the video. So the one thing I do want to mention about these rods, the Cabela's, is what I really like about them. I'm going to knock everything over, so don't mind me fidgeting around with this. There we go. So if you can't really see that, this is crankbait on it. But what I really like about these rods are that they're custom built for a certain type of bait. I know that a lot of companies, like for instance Sixgill, has them listed on there, but I really feel like this is a good first step for beginners because it actually says what it is for. So that way you know, okay, I fished this rod here, which is a 7'1" medium for my crankbaits, but I think I want something a little more stiff. So in that case, then you might go to another company and buy something that's a medium heavy. But yeah. Anyways, like I said, I don't really want to ramble on too much about that. This is a Crius. This is a 6'3" I believe. Yes, I'm right. 6'3" baitcasting reel, 7'1" medium rod, and it's paired up with, I always use 12-pound test line. I feel like the 15 is a little too thick. So moving on to the last rod and reel in my arsenal. You saw this in my last video. This is my 7-foot Crius, 7-foot Aquilos, paired up with a Crius reel, which is a 7:1 gear ratio. Right now I'm using 15-pound fluorocarbon on this rig. I normally use braid, but I decided I was going to switch over to fluorocarbon to see how that works. I might have had the braided spool down there wrong, because now that I've got this fluorocarbon, it seems to cast a lot farther and a lot smoother, but still nonetheless always cast really good. Wind grips on this one, I absolutely love this design. The blue and black is just, it's sexy. I don't know what else to call it, but yeah, it's a nice rod and reel paired up. My jig rod right now, like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to change that or not, but going forward, that's what it is. So that's it, guys. It's not going anywhere. So that's it. So yeah, I'm gonna edit this part out. That's what I've got for my rods and reels. If you think I should add anything, or if you think that should be using something a little bit different, give me some comments, let me know, give me some feedback, and also let me know what you guys are using for certain baits, and tell me what your preference is. As always, like, comment, and definitely subscribe. That's what I've got for my rods and reels. If you think I should add anything, or if you think that should be using something a little bit different, give me some comments, let me know, give me some feedback, and also let me know what you guys are using for certain baits, and tell me what your preference is. As always, like, comment, and definitely subscribe. Hit the bell on there too, so you know when I have a new video coming out. So again, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.